SEN 1170 AM.
Thank you, Vanessa. Looking forward to this chat. Our first guest of the day are now settling into his new life in Newcastle as part of the Knights lineup for this season. In fact, up until the end of 2025. Lockie Miller is on the line. G'day, Lockie.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good, thanks. Thanks for your time this morning. So you're settling in. Give us a little rundown of the last, the week, I guess, that's probably tipped your world upside down.
Yeah, it was sort of been in the works for a little while there. And then, it sort of all just happened in the sort of Friday last week, I heard, and then I was up here Monday. So it all happened pretty quick, but very excited.
So what are we, Thursday? You've been there since Monday. Have you, how did that pan out? Is it just you up there? Have you had the chance to even bring the family up, or what's the go?
Yeah, no, not yet. I just, I sort of just gave notice everywhere down there and then got in the car and came up here, and then my family will get up here today. So
yeah, excellent.
Just been me for a little bit.
Yeah, and look, we know that obviously, like you say, it's been in the pipeline for a while, so it's not as though it's something, Lockie, that just came out of the blue and you had to up and out. But there was a bit of a deal that needed to be done with the player swap. Was there any stage where you thought or your team thought that perhaps this wasn't going to go ahead, or did it appear to you that Newcastle was where you're going to play this season?
Yeah, obviously I've got a pretty good relationship with Craig Fitzgibbon, like my ex-coach. And he was honest. He was told me it's going to happen. It's just just got to get through it and get something for both teams. So I sort of knew it was going to happen. It was more about when. And as I said, he was really good throughout. It helped me a lot. So but I'm here and I'm excited.
I don't know how you go with goodbyes. I'm a shocker at goodbyes. So how did you broach the subject with your teammates? You've had such a good time at the Sharks.
Yeah, it was tough. Obviously, we built some pretty good relationships with everyone, but Fitzy was good enough and the club were good enough to let me go in on Monday morning and just say goodbye to everyone around their prep and everything, and then got to say thank you to all the coaches and then shut off. So it was good. It was nice to leave on that note.
In terms of what it means for you career-wise, it's a deal that takes you out for the next 3 years. You've got a young family, so we've covered that aspect of it. So it gives you that clarity, I guess, Lockie, around what happens for you football and job-wise for the next few years. In terms of on the park-wise, how did you weigh that up? The position that you're in at the Sharks and your possible future there versus the position you could have been at the Knights and your future there now?
Yeah, when it sort of was going on, it was a tough decision because, I didn't know any better, and I really, as I said, really enjoyed my time down in Cronulla, and thought largely of Craig, but the opportunity that Newcastle and Adam gave to me around possibly being the fullback here, it was too hard to pass up, and I always sort of grew up, you dream of being a sort of a starting player or even playing NRL. So to be, an integral part of that spine, possibly, it was, as I said, too hard to pass up.
And I can imagine, because you've referenced it, I can imagine, that relationship that you've had with Fitzy would have been difficult to let go as well. But obviously the honesty talks and sessions that you've had with him would have made that easier. So how did you then gravitate? How much do you know about Adam O'Brien and how much do you think you can learn under him that you were thinking that you could have got under Craig?
It was actually like a meeting I had with him, when I came off contract, and he just seems like a really good bloke. And everything he sort of said to me about what the Knights want to do and how he wants to use his fullback with Kalen at 5'8" and with Jacko and Brayley, it was sort of all appealed to me, and it sounded really good. So it's sort of the way I'd like to play as well. So that's why I sort of was like, sounds like the coach for me.
It's only a couple of years ago now, but does your rugby sevens career feel like a long time ago, or do you still feel as though there's a lot of learning to get out of the NRL world?
It feels like it was ages ago, but there's definitely still a lot of learning for myself.
Yeah.
Obviously, I only had the 1 year last year. I learned a lot, but obviously you never arrive. You always got to keep learning. So I'm really looking forward to this year and learning under some new coaches and some new players. So, yeah.
How's the situation around Newcastle? Have you scoped it out? It's a pretty good place, mate. I lived there for a couple of years. Beautiful beaches, great pubs, great cafes.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a little bit less hustle and bustle of Sydney, which is nice. But I'm a Coffs Harbour boy originally, so it's a little bit more like home. So yeah, I think the family's going to like it when they get up here and have a look around. It's a nice spot.
And a final one. I mean, obviously it's early days, but the expectations from you in this position, and like you say, that starting position is there, the new spine out of the Newcastle Knights under Adam O'Brien. What are the expectations for you and the Newcastle Knights, and what do you reckon you can offer fans this season as a club?
Yeah, so for myself, obviously, I sort of just arrived, so I'd really like to try and make that fullback spot mine. And then sort of heading forward, obviously building those combinations with the spine and everyone else outside that too, the middles and the edges. But the expectation for me is just I want to get on the park, play some good footy, and then obviously for the fans, we're going to deliver a fair few wins, I reckon, this year. So I reckon we're in for a good year and we might upset a couple of people.
Yeah, cool. Hey, before I let you go, I've just worked out that so the first time you'll play against the Sharks, Knights v Cronulla, will be round 12. So you've got to get to May to get there. But it's going to be at Coffs Harbour. So there's a bit of synergy. So it'll be in your original backyard against the old team.
Yeah, it's funny how that works, eh? So looking forward to it, but mixed emotions, I reckon.
Yeah, I bet. Good on you, Lockie. Hey, thanks for your time this morning, mate. I think everyone's, really rooting for you in this one and hope that the Knights can have a great season ahead. It's going to be an extraordinary one. So best of luck on that one. All the best when the family get up there and enjoy Newcastle.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thanks so much.
Good man. Lockie Miller there, new Newcastle Knight as of this season until the end of 2025. Doesn't it make a player swap just so much easier? Just some straight up heart-to-heart talks, some very honest approaches between player and club, and obviously player managers and club, and more directly player and coach. So look, this is going to happen. This is the way it's going to work out. There's no real complication in it aside from the fact that they had to do that player swap and they eventually got that done, and then bang, all of a sudden you're in a new town at a new club with a new opportunity. It'd be the perfect world if everything like that could play out. And as we know, it's never the perfect world when you come to the NRL. But I appreciate Lockie Miller's time on that one and some big ambitions for 2023 and beyond. His is an amazing story, really. I mean, Tokyo Olympics as part of the Australian Rugby Sevens outfit. He's 28 years of age. He makes his way in the Cronulla Sharks and makes his impact in the game. And here he is being picked up by the Newcastle Knights in a critical position, an absolutely critical position, because it's a critical spine. If they don't get it right this year, they may well and truly face the kind of music that they faced last year. And that's exactly what the Newcastle Knights don't want.